To the fan pages that is leaking my shit, suck my dick and fuck you, nigga. I'm not playing with none of y'all, bro.
We gonna leak this, we gonna leak that. We gonna hack your shit. For what? What is wrong with y'all?
So I be making hot songs, and them joints get leaked, and it really be making me feel weird, like, cause I'm like, how the fuck it get leaked? Like,
I feel bad for Cardi, especially. His shit leaks all the time. Like Nudies, it only leaked when Cardi got on it. So that shows you they leaked the Cardi shit.
Now, listening to unreleased music is a pretty common practice nowadays. It's not even that hard to find your favorite unreleased songs, because at the end of the day, they're all on these streaming services that, like Spotify, like SoundCloud, whatever it may be, they have these songs on playlists from made by different people. And the thing about it is that while there's nothing necessarily wrong with listening to these unreleased songs, I will talk about the fact that unreleased songs are costing these rappers thousands of dollars, because in a lot of cases, not every case, these rappers never end up dropping these unreleased songs that could make them so much money. Now, there are cases that they do drop them. A good case might be Bad Boy, which dropped early January. That song had leaked a couple months back, but it still ended up getting a full release, and it did well. It did well on billboards. It did well numbers-wise, alright? But a lot of cases, these songs just get scrapped and they never see the light of day, and they are costing these rappers thousands of dollars, because if you see some of the streams that these leaks do on Spotify, on SoundCloud, if you see the amount of plays they do, these rappers should be making thousands of dollars off of them. But why has songs leaking become so common nowadays? It used to be a case where songs would leak in maybe every couple months, but now every week your favorite artist might be having one of their songs be leaked. You never know. And yeah, sure, there are some cases where some artists might have more leaks than another, and that's something that I want to talk about in this video. Why are some rappers or artists in general dealing with so many leaks, while other artists out there are dealing with little to no leaks at all? So that's what we're going to dive into. I'm not going to sit here in this video and say that there's any team in general that's the sole reason why an artist's songs are leaking, because at the end of the day, everyone has different teams who operate in different ways. But I will say that these people around in this team have to be checked in, and they have to be looked at by these artists, because at the end of the day, these people in the team are usually with one of the people who are with them in the studio. And the thing about it is that not only these people are usually there in the studio, but if the MP3 files are sent out, usually the people in the team might be one of the people who get a hold of them, okay? And the thing about it is that the team around an artist is supposed to be very trustworthy people. They're supposed to be loyal people, because at the end of the day, they have access to so much in that spot, especially when they're around this artist all the time. But these people also need to make money, and one of the big ways they can make money is literally by, as I said earlier, having the MP3 of an unreleased song. And the thing you have to realize is that these unreleased songs don't sell for cheap. They sell for hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars just for an unreleased song, whether they're sold to in a group buy or they're sold to a private buyer. And these people who buy the song usually will either A, resell the song, which will most likely be the main option, or B, will just release it on any streaming platform they want. Usually what happens is that they take the song, they send it to another person, then they send to another person, then they send to another person, and then sooner or later, everyone has a song, and now someone just decides, let's put it on Spotify, let's put it on SoundCloud, and then boom. So yeah, it's a big possibility that some of the people in these rappers' teams are selling these songs. And that goes to show that these songs do not need to be sent out to everyone. Now, don't get me wrong, if you want to send out the MP3 to this person or that person, then yeah, you send it to them, but make sure they're trustworthy people. If you go around sending the MP3 to everyone, sooner or later someone's gonna think of the idea to sell it. Now, I can't really sit here and make a video talking about music leaking without talking about Playboi Carti, because if anything, he might be the #1 target for music leakers. Now, the thing about Carti is that Carti is a very, very perfectionist kind of person, alright? He wants his stuff to be perfect, he wants his albums to be perfect, alright? And because of that, it takes him forever for him to make these albums, alright? It took him 2 years to actually drop Whole Lotta Red, and to be honest, there's nothing wrong with waiting 2 years to drop an album, but as you can see by the ratings it got, but you can see by people what people thought of it. People weren't really happy about what they got for the 2-year wait, and I don't even blame that on the people themselves. I blame it on Cardi a lot too, because the thing about it is that, and Academics was saying it in his live stream, if you wait 2 years to drop an album and there are all these leaks along the way, people are expecting the album to sound like the leaks. But because the album came out and there are no leaks on it, none of the songs on the album even sound like any leak. The only ones that are really leaks on it were obviously Place and Neon, but the rest of them didn't really sound like leaked songs. They were him going into that baby voice kind of style, and people were expecting more of a Skeleton style, more of a Molly style, whatever it may be. They were looking for something more like that, and what they got on the album kind of felt like, I guess, underwhelming to them, and thus why I feel like he needs to stop waiting around letting these songs leak, and he needs to just drop music as constantly as he can. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he has to drop sporadically, but I will say that for him to be waiting 2 years to just only come out with what, At Me a couple months ago, and then obviously his feature on Pain 1993, and then his album, is just not worth it. You would have made a lot more money if you were able to put out some of these leaked songs on the way. And obviously, when it comes to leaked songs around him, I can't say what's really causing all the leaks. Yes, it could be people in his team. Yes, it could be hackers. To be honest, I think it's a mixture of both. There is even a case where I think Jetson made, there was a video of him talking about selling the Place leak.
Do you have the other one? The Place one? Yeah. This one. No way.
Now, talking about his leaks is kind of it's a very hard thing to do because there's so many leaked songs of him, and it's hard to obviously pinpoint them all. But the whole first version of Whole Lotta Reggae got leaked. Pissy Pamper ended up getting leaked, and yeah, it was Young Nudy's song. But let's be honest here, Cardi kind of took over it at that point, and the meme kind of went off. And I think this is one of the big cases of when I was talking about earlier in the video, a song that never got released and banging in numbers. No homo, of course. But the thing about it is that the song never got released, and when it got leaked, we all saw what it did. The song went number 1 on Spotify at one point. The song had millions of streams on SoundCloud. It was doing numbers on YouTube too. It was doing numbers on every major platform, and the song could never get released. So yeah, that wasn't necessarily their fault, but it definitely is unfortunate and kind of shows that a lot of these songs that leak and never end up doing anything, or never end up being fully released, end up costing these rappers tons of money. Imagine all the money that Cardi and Nudy in general would have made from that song. And not only that, but add that to all the other leaks that Cardi had that's always doing numbers. Songs like Molly, songs like Cancun, songs like that would give Cardi tons of money because of how many streams those songs always do. Those songs are always on Spotify, then taken down from Spotify, then put back on. These songs are constantly out there. If the song was just up straight and anyone could have access to it, he would probably make millions of streams off of it. The next person I'm going to talk about is Juice WRLD, and he's a big part of getting his songs leaked too. And the thing about Juice WRLD is that after his death, a lot of songs of his started to leak like crazy. And yeah, they're leaking like crazy beforehand, but they were leaking a ton too after his death. And there's a really, really two-sided argument about this, because on one side, a lot of people feel that Juice WRLD having all these songs leak is kind of bad because, it kind of feels disrespectful to the art and the artist in general. But there's also the other side, which feels like let the songs leak because if we let the label actually just release the songs, and they're just gonna take money and make money off the dead, and obviously that's not a cool thing to do. It's not a good thing to do in general. So it's a two-sided argument. Personally, in his case, I kind of feel like they should just let his songs leak, but this is kind of a topic that I'm going to talk about, and obviously releasing music for the dead in general is a video that I'm going to talk about in another video. But I'm not gonna go too far into it, but I will say that he is a big part in getting his songs leaked. I don't know how they keep leaking, but literally there are playlists on SoundCloud or in Spotify too that have like hundreds of leaked songs by him. So he's a big part in getting his songs leaked. Now, these are the two cases who get the most leaks, I would say. Now, there are cases like Lil Uzi Vert, who pre-Eternal Take was getting his songs leaked literally once a month. But luckily, he kind of picked it up, and now you might find an Uzi leak every 6 months or so. So, yeah, he's kind of picked up in keeping his songs safe. And, you know, obviously there's that whole video of him confronting the dude that was hacking and getting his songs. As I said, hacking is a big part of this. There's also cases like Trippie Redd, who's dealt with entire albums leaking. I don't know if he had Neon Shark leak too. I think he did. And obviously he had Pegasus leak a couple weeks before it dropped. And numbers-wise, both of them did okay. I don't think the leaks necessarily changed any of the numbers that they were doing. But I will say that them songs leaking definitely did not help them. It definitely doesn't help anyone when a song leaks. You know, sure, he can play it off and say, you know, whatever, the song leaked. But to be honest, it's going to cost these rappers money. These streams that they could have made are just going to streams that are just going to be taken down in a couple of days because these leaks never stay for that long. And speaking of these songs getting taken down, let's talk a little bit about Spotify and SoundCloud because I feel bad for them. I feel bad for not only Spotify, SoundCloud, but all these other services that have this music, because they're trying their best. They're trying their best to take these songs down immediately, but they just can't, because these songs, as soon as they get taken down, another version gets released, and that's exactly what happened with Pissy Pamper. One version gets taken down, another version gets released, does 100,000 streams, and then goes on and on. That's the thing about it. A lot of these songs are getting put on these platforms. They stay up for a bit, then they get taken down, but then someone releases that same song on their account, and then boom, it does a bunch of numbers too. So yeah, they're gonna try their best, but ultimately I don't think they can keep up with them. I don't, because unless they have some way in the future to deal with it, I don't know how they're going to stop it. And that's going to be something I talk about next. I'm going to end this video off by talking a little bit about how I feel like the future of these songs leaking will go. Because if there's one thing that's for sure, it's that as long as the internet's around, these leaks are going to continue to happen. As long as these rappers don't figure out how to keep these people from leaking their music, these artists are going to continue to lose hundreds of dollars. And I know these services are trying their best to kind of keep these leaks at bay, but to be honest, I don't know how much you can really do. Unless you can put some kind of system out where it can kind of detect what song you're putting up, I don't think there's any way you can really have people manually take down all these songs. It's really not that possible, especially considering the fact that these songs are going to get re-released the next day. So I kind of see it going up from here, unless these rappers can figure out how to keep their music safe. The music is going to continue to leak, and sure, it's going to be great for us as the listeners, but it's going to start costing these rappers. But anyway, that's all I gotta say in this video, guys. Thanks for 500 subs. Plan on making some longer videos, even though I can't even monetize them, so there's not really any incentive for me. But I'm just trying to put out the best content I can, and it's not really about the money. So I'm just gonna put out some more much longer videos. I'm gonna try to put out some more documentary style videos. So look forward to a lot of those in the future, and that's all I gotta say.